Okay, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Tuesday, April 20th, 2021 meeting of the Chappaqua Central School District Board of Education. May I have a motion and a second to open the public session?
Second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Since well, this is a morning Zoom meeting, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance before we go into exec. So please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Led by
allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now may I have a motion and a second to enter into executive session to discuss contract negotiations?
I'll move.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, we're now in exec. Thank you. Okay, welcome back. So the board has been in executive session discussing contract negotiations and matters of health and safety. So may I have a motion and a second to reconvene the public meeting?
I move.
Okay, I'll second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay, now let's get to item 3. I'd like a motion and a second to address the approval of the BOCES tentative administrative budget for the 2021-2022 school year in the amount of $9,866,988. May I have a motion and a second?
I'll move.
Jane moves. Holly seconds. Okay. So we'll have some discussion, but Lisa, this is going to be a roll call.
That's correct. Just this motion, just this resolution.
Okay, so I'll open the floor for any discussion.
I'll start. I am voting no on this until BOCES, our local BOCES, decides to hear each of the different districts and change their administrative procedures. We are the only BOCES district in the state, out of which I think 38 or 37, that have this hybrid model of 50% Rwanda and 50% true value. It doesn't help our community at all. I believe that we should help each other, but in this case, we're being, our community is not really being treated fairly by the BOCES board and the people that have been on the BOCES board. We've had numerous conversations with them since I've been on the board for 8 years now. This year, notwithstanding because of COVID. However, they refuse to negotiate, but discuss this in good faith. So for that case, I can't vote yes for this budget, and I would be doing a disservice to the constituents that we represent, the members of the Chappaqua School District community. So I will vote no.
So, just to give some background, because we've been talking about this over the years to anyone who might be listening and may be unsure about what we're discussing. So every BOCES in New York State charges their component districts on the administrative side of the budget according to Rwanda. Rwanda is resident weighted average daily attendance. So that doesn't mean attendance at the BOCES, it means attendance within the district. So it's based on the local district enrollment. In our case, our BOCES allocates the costs among component districts according to a formula, which is 50% average daily attendance and 50% what's called true value. True value is the value of the real estate in the local district. Obviously, there's some districts with higher property values than others. And so for those districts that have high property values, regardless of the number of children they send to BOCES, and we send very few compared to other districts. So those districts that have higher property values have to pay a higher administrative fee simply because of the property values. So we have felt that this is unfair, that our BOCES treats us differently than all other BOCES in the state. And I think that although Chappaqua has the lowest attendance of children in our local BOCES, I think we have the third highest administrative cost among the component districts. And so that is the basis for our dissatisfaction. And all we are asking is that this BOCES allocate costs the same way that every other BOCES in the state allocates costs. So that's the background. So I'll let everyone else weigh in if you have thoughts.
Yeah,
go ahead.
For the same reasons that we've just discussed, this is a anomaly in the way that they're charging component districts with this particular BOCES. And we've been unable, despite many attempts to have a conversation and or have better representation on the BOCES board, and without making any progress since the time I've been on the board. So I will be voting no as well. I think that this is unfair as a shared service for the to be an anomaly in the state.
Oh, Hilary, you're muted.
I agree, and it's not that we're the only BOCES in the state that has component districts that have divergent property values. That's fairly normal and representative across the state. And so for ours to be the only BOCES that uses a different funding allocation just seems really wrong. And I want to just be clear that we're not looking for any special treatment. In quite the opposite, we're looking for this BOCES to behave the same way that every other BOCES in the state behaves.
Yeah, I would just be reiterating what most people said, but I think that's a very good point, Hilary, that we are not seeking special treatment. We are not seeking to shirk responsibility of just sharing costs, or in certain ways, understanding that we have a district that maybe have higher property values and the way things land. But the thing is that this component district is charging in a way that no other district does. And the current board is made up of people who do not wish to see that change right now, or are not doing anything to help it change, because the districts that are benefiting from this, to our detriment, will not make a change that would help us and help our constituents. So it seems inequitable, and it's disproportionate in terms of us paying for the services that we're getting. And we don't feel that we can support this budget when we have continuously tried, since I've been on the board and well before, to get an allocation that is in line with what all the other BOCES in the state are doing. So I as well will be voting no.
Yeah, and the only thing that I think merits reiteration is that we're asking for equal treatment compared to all other BOCES in the entire state. And just to add as context also, that the whole purpose of BOCES is to enable school districts to maximize their resources. That's the sole purpose, and that's why these BOCES were formed, for collaborative sharing of resources and to maximize savings. So, okay then, so Lisa, I guess, are we ready for the roll call then? Okay, go ahead, Lisa.
Okay, we'll start with you, Vicki. How do you vote?
I will vote no.
Okay. Holly?
I vote no.
Hilary?
No.
Warren?
No.
Jane?
No.
Okay.
No.
Motion does not carry.
Okay. Now we'll move on to item 4. I'd like a motion and a second to approve the resolution to cast one vote for each of the 2 vacancies to be filled on the BOCES board for 2 3-year terms from July 1, 2021 to June 30, 2022. Lisa, could you, this is not going to be a roll call vote, so may I ask, I'm sorry, let's do a motion in a second and then we'll have questions. I will move on the resolution. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Lisa, is this one vote for both
The
candidates?
way the resolution reads is that it's the one vote for the two candidates.
Now that seems odd. Is that typical?
That is how we have done it in the past.
Okay, so we would have the option, and I'm not suggesting that my question is dependent on a certain vote that I'm going to cast, but do we have the option of splitting them just as a matter of process? I just find this odd. Or is this how BOCES dictates that we?
This is how BOCES presents the resolution.
I think we previously
interesting.
split it. I think we've done that before, but so I do think we have the choice, but correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, not that this is relevant for this vote. I'm not saying that. To my knowledge, I don't know that anyone wants to split it, but I'm just curious as to the process
No, it's a good point.
for the future. So, and it just occurred to me. So if we wanted to, we could split the resolution ourselves. Is that possible?
Yes, we can take a roll call vote for each candidate.
Okay.
Would you like to do that?
I'm not suggesting that we do at this time. I was just curious only as to the process.
I feel like we did that
But does
last time.
anyone, I should ask, does anyone want to split it?
Yep.
No,
Peggy, also, I apologize, but there's an error in the resolution. The ending date should be June 30th, 2024, not 2022.
Oh, yes, because it's a
So we will
3-year
approve
term.
it as, you would be approving it as amended.
As amended. So the resolution, do I need to reread it, Lisa, or just simply say that the resolution should end by saying from July 1, 2021 to June 30, 2024?
So yes, correct.
I suppose we all missed it, so that's okay. So may I have a motion and a second to approve resolution under item 4 as amended? I will so move.
I'll second.
Okay, Jane will second. So we've had, so is there any other discussion on this resolution?
No, not for me.
Okay, so this is not a roll call. So I will just say all in favor of approving item 4, please say aye. Okay, all opposed?
I didn't see, oh, okay.
We
Very
have,
good.
how many are opposing?
All.
We have 4 opposed.
I'm sorry, I didn't see any ayes.
No eyes.
There were no
No
ayes.
ayes.
Can we have an abstention? I would like to abstain.
Oh, very good.
I mean, I'm voting no for these candidates for the same reason I'm voting no for the budget. The candidates support the budget. The budget is not supportive of our district. Also, there's I believe, some leadership issues at BOCES that I'm not too keen on, and these candidates have seemed to support that. So that's
I'm
my-
with Warren on that.
Okay,
Okay.
so,
I'm sorry, we're done?
sorry.
Yep.
Yeah,
The
okay.
resolution does not pass. Okay.
All right, I recommend number 5, instructional as presented.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on item 5, instructional as presented.
I move item 5 as presented.
I'll second.
All in, questions, comments? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
May I have a motion and a second to approve item 6, the ratification of the memorandum of agreement as presented? Hilary moved. Sorry, I was looking at the agenda. Was that a second, Hilary? Or,
No, I
And
moved.
that,
okay, Lisa, you're keeping track. May I have a second? Holly seconds. Any questions, discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. item.
Oh, wait a
7.
minute. Sorry, Vicki, I was muted. I just wanted to stop for a second and thank
Sure.
the board for approving the contract extension for the custodial and maintenance unit. Really happy that we're able to negotiate a fair contract for them and honor the services that they've been able to provide for our district moving forward. So thank you for acting on that today. And I look forward to letting Mario know that we are in a good place to move forward collectively as a district with that unit. So thank you.
Thank you for saying that, Christine. Yes. Okay. Let us move on to item 7. May I have a motion and a second to approve the bid award recommendation regarding construction and labor materials and general construction to the Empire Core Group.
I move.
Okay, I will second. Any questions or discussions on this? No? Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
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 And I mean, I have a motion to approve item 8, a resolution to approve the agreement with Stratagem Security regarding the STEAM Center at Horace Greeley High School.
I'll move.
Second.
Okay, any questions and discussions on this item?
Is
Yes.
Oh, I just wanted to ask if this is a piece of the project that we hadn't expected, or if it's just because of the delays, we're just getting to this one now.
I don't know, Holly, as part of your being on the facilities committee, could you shed some light on this as to perhaps the background that you might have discussed facilities? I'm sorry. What?
No, I don't have any background on it. I was wondering if Warren might from facilities.
Or maybe Christine can tell us why we're approving this at this time.
We're at the point of the project where we need to secure the location, so we have to align the mechanics to the mechanics that we use throughout Greeley to operate our facilities. So I think that the reason this is probably in front of you at this time is because we're at the point where we're now ready to be able to move forward, and it's a vendor outside of the traditional STEAM Center structure.
Okay.
It's our the swipes and all that kind of, it's that vendor.
Oh, that makes sense. Thank you.
Great. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay. And now we have reached notice of future meetings. Our next meeting will be Wednesday, May 5th at 7:30 p.m. We will have our budget hearing and the Chappaqua Library budget presentation. We'll be at the Horace Greeley High School auditorium. Following that will be Tuesday, May 18th, will be our school district budget vote and election. And the polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. at the Horace Greeley High School gymnasium. And just to add to that, Lisa, could you give us just a very brief outline of the absentee ballot process this year?
Very good. So this year, people who have concern about COVID may use that as a reason to request an absentee ballot. They are available. There's a link on our website to print out the absentee ballot application, which they can then mail to me, at which point I will mail them the absentee ballot and the vehicle for returning it as soon as possible, as soon as the ballots become available. Otherwise, we will be holding an in-person budget vote as we have in the past.
And may I ask, we haven't discussed this this time around, but last year, when we were in the midst of, the worst of times, we provided a ballot box outside of the district office. And there have been some anomalies with the post office. I'm not sure if those have been rectified. But is that something we can consider this year?
We can certainly consider that. We still have the ballot box. We can have it secured by the front door. I can have that discussion with the superintendent. I have not experienced an onslaught of requests for absentee ballots.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it might be a little bit early for that. I don't know that any of my other district clerks have experienced that either. So that can certainly be a consideration. We do have the box that we used last year in our possession.
Yeah, I would personally like to see the box used this year again because the pandemic isn't over and there may be people who are still uncomfortable and also not feeling that confident that their ballots may arrive on time.
Okay.
So
Can I ask one other follow-up question? I remember last year there was something weird, and I don't remember the specifics, about due date versus postmark date. I assume that we're back on a normal absentee ballot schedule where it has to be received by election.
Absentee ballots must be received by 5 p.m. on the 18th, which is the day of the vote.
Because I remember last year it was weird and not normal. So
Right. Last year, the governor extended the date of the counting by a week to allow for people who had mailed them in.
right.
However, personally dropped off ballots had to be received by the week prior. So yes, it was confusing. We were all confused.
So what's odd about that is that the vote can continue on that day until 9 p.m. But the ballot, if it's an absentee ballot, that has to be in by 5 p.m. So I think there's something, of course, you have to follow the rules. There's no arguing with that right now.
Right.
But I think there's something inherently unfair.
I think we just need to explicitly tell people as many times as possible.
It could be confusing to people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we will get that communication out there prior to the vote. Okay, well, this has been the longest notice of future meeting section. Apologize for that. So may I have a motion, a second, to adjourn the public meeting?
I move we adjourn at 10:37 a.m.
May I have a second?
I second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned at 10:37 a.m. Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Bye-bye.